Fast and Furious 6 came out back in 2013 and once again stars Vin Diesel, Paul Walker, Jordana Brewster, Dwayne Johnson, Ludacris, and an entire returning ensemble. And it tells the story of Hobbs having Dominic and Brian reassemble their crew to take down a team of mercenaries, while Dominic unexpectedly gets sidetracked with facing his presumed deceased girlfriend, Letty. Now, after really enjoying Fast 5, I was really interested to see how this one would follow up to the fifth one, and if I would like it even more, if I would like it even less. And I went in with some pretty big expectations, but some interesting expectations after seeing Fast 5. And this is a good enough follow-up. I don't think it's as good as Fast 5. I still think Fast 5 is my favorite. But this is a nice little follow-up that's very enjoyable. The action scenes, once again, are great and really enjoyable. It's directed very well by Justin Lin, who is definitely familiar with this franchise now. This is not his first, not his second, but his fourth time directing an installment in this franchise. And he does a really good job with it. Again, the action sequences are so much fun and really what make this franchise the blast that it is. Another great part about this movie is the really funny one-liners from Ludacris and Tyrese Gibson once again, who are just really funny actors. And again, everyone gives some really funny lines, but Ludacris and Tyrese Gibson give them probably the funniest lines of the movie, but it's a little bit more funnier than the fifth one, actually, and I actually found myself to be chuckling here and there. The cast, once again, is great, and it's nice to see Luke Evans in a villain role. He played Gaston in the Beauty and the Beast live-action remake, and I've seen him in stuff here and there, but it was nice to see him in a villainous role, and, he's a decent villain. I think his character is pretty thin, but he's pretty menacing and really captures the screen, and I found him to be a pretty solid villain. I think where this movie starts to get really unbelievable is when Vin Diesel kind of turns into borderline Superman. I mean, this guy goes through fire, gets thrown across a bridge, lands on a car, and you would think breaks his back, doesn't have a scratch on him. Like, these guys don't get hurt, especially Vin Diesel in this movie, and if that is going to continue in the next couple movies, which I heard it does, that's probably going to be a big problem for me. I just found it very unbelievable that he could, one, survive these scenes, and then two, I mean, if he survives, that's obviously okay, but then gets off without a scratch, like, that's pretty crazy, and took away a lot from the movie for me. The movie slows down at specific points, especially in the first and second act. In the third act, it really doesn't have much time to slow down, and is just a continuous fun ride. But the first and second act, there's some slow parts here and there. When you compare it to the fifth movie kind of just felt like very quick and never really had time for you to breathe. But this movie has some slower moments here and there, and I think the first and second act did take a little while for me to get really invested in the movie. But after it took a little while for me to get into it, I was finally into it, especially turning into that third act. It gets really investing and with some great action sequences once again. And then my biggest issue with this movie is it's pretty convoluted. The first and second act, there's a lot of plot lines that they're having to juggle with. It's going back and forth to new people, to new scenes, and I just found it to be really convoluted, and I just really wanted them to focus in on, a handful of plot lines. I get it that you have a lot of characters and you need to, give each one of them some depth, but it got pretty convoluted for me, and I didn't feel like it brought much to the experience, and in fact, it took more out of the experience for me, and I found myself to be kind of getting confused here and there, and just didn't love how overly convoluted it was, and I think that if they just take a couple steps back, I think that it would have worked better as a whole. But like I said, this is still a really solid Fast and Furious movie. It's a nice follow-up to Fast 5. Not the best, but it's definitely better than, say, Too Fast, Too Furious, Tokyo Drift. It's still a good, solid sequel, and it's a total blast. You can easily watch this. This is a definitely watchable movie, and it's a solid entry in this crazy franchise. I'm going to give Fast and Furious 6 a B-. It's a solid watch, and I enjoyed it for the most part. Again, not as much as Fast 5, which I actually really enjoyed thinking more and more about it, but still a nice little follow-up, and if you haven't seen it, I would recommend it. Guys, thank you again so much for watching. If you did enjoy the video, do give it a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Make sure to turn on the notification bell to get notified whenever new videos like this go live. Look forward to more reviews coming soon. We're having a pretty big week with reviews. We got Luca, the new iCarly revival, which I'm very excited for. We got a lot of stuff coming, so look out for more reviews coming soon. My name is Ben, people call me Meter, and I'll see you guys on the next one.